Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on Waitangi Day. Yes, it's Monday, the 8th of February, and hope you're all having a good long weekend. In the news this morning, we have cricket with the Super Smash, 2 games yesterday, which I was at up in Auckland. Also, we have 3 test matches going on. The NBA was in action, as was the NBL, both in the basketball, obviously. In football, we have news from the A-League and the New Zealand Premiership. In the golf, we have PGA and European Tour action with Ryan Fox was going well in the European Tour. If you remember, over in the rugby, and it's the Six Nations opening round is now completed. And also, it's Super Bowl NFL today. So, boy, oh boy, it is a packed show for you this morning. Hi, I'm Paul, and I'll be your host. This is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. Over in the Six Nations, and yes, we've had the first round of games over there. As we reported yesterday, Italy lost to France 10-50 in that one. Ongoing as everyone expected, but that was followed up by 2 upsets, with England losing to Scotland 6-11 in a wet game. In that one, Scotland getting their first win down in Twickenham. Well, actually, none of the players were born the last time Scotland won down in Twickenham. So yes, a big win, a memorable win for Scotland there. And then this morning, we've just finished seeing Wales beat Ireland 21-16 in that one. It didn't help Ireland. They had a red card early in the game there. Marnie going into a clear out with his shoulder to the elbow to the head of a player, and it was a clear red card there. Ireland saw out the rest of the first half in control, actually even being a man down and leading at 6-13 at half time. Wales, though, came out in the second half and made the advantage pay, going up 21-13. A late Billy Burns penalty meant that we had a tight finish to the game. Thomas Williams kicking the ball away with just 7 seconds left on the clock, giving Ireland that last attack. And unfortunately, it ended up with Billy Burns kicking for the corner and kicking the ball dead, chewing off too much, meaning that Wales took the victory 21-16 in that one. That means now then in the table, obviously France with that big win are top of the table. Scotland currently second, and Wales in third. Both Scotland and Wales on the same points difference. So boy, oh boy, close in that one. Italy clearly at bottom of the table on 0 points. Both Ireland and England picking up the 1 bonus point in that one losing bonus point each for them there. Moving on then, and in the cricket, in the Super Smash yesterday, we had the final games of the regular season. First up, we had the men in action as the Wellington Firebirds took on the Auckland Aces. And the Wellington Firebirds really did to have a wonderful innings, scoring 230 runs, a record score for Wellington in the Super Smash ever, and also the highest score at Eden Park. Also the highest score this season in the Super Smash. That clearly was always, Conway led the way with 91 off 58 after Allen had given the Firebirds a rocketing start with 73 off just 35 balls there. Auckland obviously were always going to struggle chasing that down, and Julie were bowled out with the last ball of the innings for 191 in that one. They did have a good crack at it, and were really kind of close until about the 13th over, but had lost too many wickets, and then 3 wickets in Jimmy Neeshon's late over meant he was coming back from injury, ended any hope at all of the Auckland Aces getting near that total. That now means that the table finished with the Wellington Firebirds top of the table, clear there by 12 points with just the one loss all season. They will be hosting the final. The elimination final on Thursday will be between the Central Stags and the Canterbury Kings to see who will make it into the final down there in Wellington. We followed that up with a game with the Auckland Hearts versus Wellington Blaze. The Auckland Hearts went into bat and scored 117 off their 20 overs. Again, getting bowled out with the last ball of the game there. 4 wickets for Sophie Devine in that one. And that, to be honest, looked like that Auckland were going to be a few runs short. The Wellington Blaze came into bat, and Auckland got Sophie Devine out cheaply for just 6 off 8 balls, and that was important. But the Blaze do bat very deep in this one. Green top score with 33 off 34, but taking regular wickets was important for the Auckland Hearts, including 3 runouts in this one, 2 to Peterson after she took 2 wickets with her bowling as well. Unsurprisingly, player of the game, and they managed to bowl out the Wellington Blaze for 110, meaning a 7-run win, and they bowled out at the end of the 19th over, meaning they had 1 over to spare. I got to talk to Fran Jonas after the game, and here is what she had to say.
Game in the regular season between the Hearts and Wellington with Fran. Look, in that your batting innings, you kept the run rates up, but there were wickets falling on regular intervals, weren't they? You kind of, but as people came in, they kept the run rates up.
Yeah, we struggled to make good partnerships, but I guess in the end we got enough, which was good.
Yeah, because obviously after the men's game, it looked like there were plenty of runs in that wicket. So perhaps some slightly under par total, but you girls, worked really hard to defend that after a couple of expensive early overs.
Yeah, our bowling unit did really well to defend that score. We thought we needed a couple more, but we actually ended up all right.
And it was, as you say, lots of support from the fielders taking those wickets. I mean, you could have let your heads drop, but I think it showed a lot of the character of this team that you came back and restricted them and bowled them all out eventually.
Yeah, the vibe was really good out there, and we kept our standards up, which was really good. Took the win out.
Now, Thursday, you have them back here, the same team. This kind of a preview for that. Hoping to get a good crowd in and for the elimination final here at Eden Park.
Yeah, hopefully. It is a working day, unfortunately, but hopefully we get a good crowd in.
Yep, and folks, do head down here. It's going to be a cracker of a game, as we've seen tonight. This went down to the final overs. I think some of us are just about calming down, but it's a few heart palpitations. Hopefully you've calmed down, and well done on the win, and good luck on Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, and don't forget to follow New Zealand Sports Radio for more interviews from the Super Smash.
And that means that looking at the table, the Canterbury Magicians finish top of the table on net run rate ahead of Auckland Hearts. That means that they will be hosting the final. As you heard during there, the elimination final between Auckland Hearts and Wellington Blaze this Thursday to see who will be making it into the final there in the Super Smash. Moving on then to the Test cricket and 3 Test matches in action at the moment. First off, we had England in India. England were all bowled out for 578 in that one. Joe Root with 218 leading the way for England. Don Sibley with 87 and Ben Stokes with 82 also chipping in there. India, in reply to that, are 257 for 6 at the moment. The key wickets of Pujara, who scored 73, and Pant, who scored 91, fell just before. Well, they managed to get those 2 out. Currently, Washington sail at Sundar and is on 33 not out, and Ashwin is on 8 not out. So India still short of the of avoiding the follow-on by about 120 runs. So a lot A lot of batting still for India to do in that first innings. It's the end of the third day, and you've got to say that unless England can force a follow-on, you'd think that this one is heading towards a draw. Also, we have Pakistan versus South Africa. Pakistan were balled out for 298 in their second innings. Their top scoring for them was Mohammad Rizwan on 115 and not out. And they have set South Africa a total of 370 to win the game. There's at the end of the day 4, they're 127 for 1. So a good start there by South Africa in their second innings, chasing down that total. Currently, Markram is on 59 not out, and Van der Dussen on 48 and not out. So a really intriguing final day set up there as South Africa need a further 243 runs, and Pakistan need 9 wickets in the final day. You've got to say result is on the cards for that one. We also got a result with Bangladesh versus West Indies. Bangladesh declared in their second innings for 223 for 8 declared, setting a target of 395 for the West Indies to chase. They had been bowled out for 259 in their first innings. So Bangladesh sending a big total to chase. In the second innings for the West Indies, Carl Mayers really was the man for the West Indies, scoring 210 and not out. Yes, he saw the West Indies home chasing that total. They made it to 395 for the loss of 7 wickets. Bonner with 86 also had a good innings there, but Carl Mayers with over half the runs for the West Indies there as the West Indies got the win. Hussain Miraz got 4 wickets in that one after getting 4 wickets in the first innings as well. So he finished the test match with 8 wickets in total there on the losing side. So congratulations to West Indies taking the first test there against Bangladesh. Moving on then, and in the NBA, there was a whole host of action yesterday with 11 games. The one that Kiwis will be interested in mainly is the Pelicans versus the Grizzlies. It was all tied up at the end of the third quarter. It was a tight game all the way through. The Grizzlies took a 2-point lead into the at the end of the first quarter. The Pelicans actually brought it back, just 1-1 behind, and were trailing by 1 point going into that fourth quarter. And they won the fourth quarter 28-18 to win the game, 118 to 109, and make it 3 wins on the trot for the Pelicans. Steven Adams with 2 rebounds and 4 points didn't have the best of games with the on the old stats point of view, but Zion Williamson with 29 points, Brendan Ingram with the double-double, 12 rebounds and 27 points, and Eric Bledsoe with 21 points with a 3-pronged attack that won it for the Pelicans. On the Grizzlies side, and they were led on the scoring off the bench by Valan Kunias with 23 points there. So 3 wins on the bounce now for the Pelicans is clearly a good result, and seeds them climb up to 12th in the Western Conference. Key results from yesterday saw the 76ers beat the Nets 124 to 108. The Lakers beat the Pistons 135 to 129 at a high-scoring affair there in that one. And the Bucks beating the Cavaliers 124 to 99, meaning that the Jazz still lead the Lakers in the Western Conference. And over on the eastern side, the 76ers are just leading the Bucks on that side. So, all go in the NBA. Moving on to the NBL. And in the NBL, we had 2 games yesterday. The Southeast Melbourne Phoenix beat the Hawks 98 to 82. And the Melbourne United beat the Wildcats 75 to 71. Meaning Melbourne United still sit top of the table ahead of the Hawks, who lost yesterday. Moving on to the football, and in the A-League, 2 games yesterday as the Central Coast Mariners beat Western United. And also we saw the Newcastle Jets beat Melbourne City, meaning that Central Coast Mariners go back to top of the table on 15 points ahead of Brisbane Roar on 12. But Brisbane Roar have got 2 games in hand there. After a poor start to the season, the Jets have climbed themselves up to 8th in the table with that win. Today sees Sydney FC taking on Wellington Phoenix at 9:10 this morning. So 6th place, Sydney FC will be taking on the Phoenix. Phoenix looking for their 2nd win of the season. Over in the the ISPS Handa Men's Premiership, we had 4 games this weekend. Wellington Phoenix were downed by Hamilton Wanderers 1-2. Waitakere United beat Eastern Suburbs 4-0. Canterbury United beat Hawke's Bay 2-1, and Auckland City won 3-1 against Team Wellington. What does that mean in the table? That means Auckland City are still sit top there on 23 points clear of Team Wellington on 17, and Hamilton Wanderers on 16 points. Auckland City going well, having just beaten the second place team at the top there. Let's have a look at the golf, and over in the Phoenix Open in the PGA Tour. Danny Lee missed the cut, but the 4th round is live at the moment. Shuffle, Spithell, and lead the way on 18 under, and they should be starting on the course in a couple of minutes. Their tee time is 7:20 a.m. New Zealand time in that one. Over on the European Tour, and at the Saudi International, Ryan Fox had a good tournament, finishing tied 6th at 11 under par, 2 under par for his round 4. Johnson won at 15 under par, 4 shots ahead of Ryan Fox, and 2 shots clear of the field to win the tournament. But Ryan Fox with a good start to the year, with that tied 6th place at the Saudi International, and we'll keep track of how he's going throughout the season here on New Zealand Sports Radio. So don't forget to tune in at 7 a.m. every morning for the morning sports briefing, where we'll keep you up to speed with all of that. You can also listen to us as a podcast if you missed that. This was live. Just search New Zealand Sports Radio on your favorite podcatcher, with iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, for example. And don't forget that today is Super Bowl day. With in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs will take on the I had the San Francisco 49ers here. That's wrong. That's last year's game, isn't it? They are taking on. I'll go blank now as to who they're taking on. Sorry, so Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on Kansas City Chiefs. Tom Brady for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the defending Kansas City Chiefs in that one. This is the first time that a team has got to play at their home stadium in the Super Bowl, being held in Tampa. It starts at 12:30 today, New Zealand time, so just after midday, and is available on both Sky Sports and Spark Sport, is my understanding. So I'll be watching that one live. Do join me on the old socials. I'll be tweeting away about that game. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all the important sports news. Have a wonderful end to your long weekend, folks. And I say, join me for the Super Bowl at 12:30.